Hello, welcome to another recap of Darcy and Stacey, Season 1, Episode 6, Caught on Tape. All right, quarantine has started in Middletown, Connecticut, and they're going to the store. And of course, I'm sure we were all triggered by remembering our first trips to the store and how stressful it was to see all those empty shelves for the things that you wanted the most. Fortunately, I think because we live in South Florida and we do get hit rather regularly by hurricanes, most of us have a good amount of supplies. That when we started having to worry and shut in, like the end of March, that was a little earlier than hurricane season, but still, even just left over from the last hurricane season, it seems like we always have extra cases of water. Most of us do. And so, yeah, we weren't really that stressed out. And I remember the toilet paper thing, but I got an in at the Walgreens where this guy who's been the manager there forever was like, it's hot merchandise from coming in from China. He was like, yeah, they're delivering Charmin and wet wipes and Bounty paper towels Wednesday morning, 8:30. Be here. So I literally was there at 8:30. And no one else was there. I think that store opens at 8, or was it 9:30? I don't know. Anyway, I got there pretty much when the store opened, and he said he was going to be there, and he was like, "Yeah, they're coming out. Have your basket ready." And I had my shopping trolley, and I bought the world's most expensive. You know how at drugstores paper products are super expensive, but we were concerned, because we did not have a back stock of that. And usually we order everything online from Costco, and Costco was not happening for several weeks in Miami. There was nothing coming out of Costco for the first few weeks in terms of the paper products and disinfectants and bottled water. So I filled a large trolley with Charmin and Bounty, because we're so loyal to those brands. we can't use bargain basement toilet paper and paper towel. Yeah, people are dying. You can use cheap paper towel and toilet paper. It'll be okay. Speaking of white privilege, it'll be okay, honey. But man, I must have spent a fortune. Whatever you pay at a supermarket for a normal price for a big bargain pack of Bounty towels or Charmin, whatever it was, I'm sure I paid twice as much. But I was desperate. I was like, I can go without food, but I just need water, and I need Bounty, and I need Charmin. So so it was just funny. I mean, not funny, but kind of looking back. And then that made me wonder, one day when all this is over, are we going to look back and tell jokes about this? Because my mom remembers the Great Depression and World War II, and she can look back and tell stories and make them funny. And I don't think they were funny at the time. I mean, her family lost 2 sons. 2 of her brothers died, one in the Pacific and one in Europe in World War II. And at the same time, their father was off in Europe. He was a lieutenant colonel in the army. So you can imagine how much fun my grandmother was having during all that. But somehow she made things nice at home for her other 4 children. She had 6 kids, so there were 4 left at home. And during that time, my mom had scarlet fever, and then it went into rheumatic fever, and then she couldn't walk for 6 months. So she was also nursing an invalid daughter, my mom, who easily could have died. It was extremely touch and go. We don't talk about scarlet fever or rheumatic fever these days, but trust me, in the 1940s, you know, they were quarantined. They had to be quarantined. People couldn't come near them because my mom, when she first got sick. So she was shut in. Literally, her hospital was the basement. There were windows at the other upper level. I've been back to that house in South Dakota a few times. Little tiny house. I can't believe 6 kids and 2 adults lived in that house. It is tiny. But my grandmother was like Dorinda. She made it nice. My grandmother could take anything and make it beautiful. I mean, she just had that gift. So the house was just adorable, and it was tiny, and they had 1 bathroom for the whole family. Can you imagine? But somehow everyone cooperated. It was like the Depression era version of the Brady Bunch, and my grandmother was a saint. All this while nursing a first possibly dying and then sick daughter, having 2 sons fighting and ending up dying very close to each other in the war, and her husband, you know, he was in command, so he wasn't on the front line, but anything could have happened to him. So, but I'm telling you that somehow they would still look back on those times and find humor. So trust me, if you can make it through the Depression, the Great Depression, and World War II, we can make it through this. Of course, there are other things that we have to get through too in this country, but yeah, Americans we're tougher than we think. I'm just going to say that. We're tougher than we think. Okay, all right. So Aniko and Aspen are already saying they miss school. Oh dears, get used to it. They're at that point where they're figuring out how to deal with the masks and the gloves. Darcy makes a good point. You can get it through your eyes. You can absolutely get it through your eyes. It's true, which is why, you know, you see those people that have those little kind of like plastic shields and then the masks. Yeah, I mean, it looks extreme, but you can get, if you get droplets in your eyes, yeah, yep, that is an ingress for a virus. Okay, so they do yoga on their front lawn as a family, and again, they're trying to, they're trying to make it nice, like Dorinda. Darcy worries about Georgie being alone in Washington because he doesn't have any family there, and she's like, oh, I don't want him to be quarantining down there alone. Maybe he's not alone. I have no reason to say that at this point. I'm just assuming all these men usually disappoint us in the end. But I have no reason to believe that. Okay, so Darcy's going to ask him to come up and visit, and maybe if he wants to rent a little apartment with her and quarantine up in Middletown in Connecticut. Mike asks if they're getting married. Well, you know, he's worried that Darcy's moving way too fast. Imagine Darcy moving way too fast. Mike, don't be silly. Of course, Darcy knows that Mike will not let her and Georgie stay in the same house under the same roof because he doesn't allow that until his girls are married. He's an old-fashioned guy. But, you know, he also is thinking that he doesn't like her to move too fast because he's been married 3 times. And he knows how hard it is on kids to have, this is your new mom, this is your new mom, or in this case, this is your new dad, this is your new dad. You know, why does Darcy have to say, oh, he's no Tom, he's no Jesse? I wish we could do some kind of surgery like that Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, that movie where they erase part of, is it Jim Carrey's brain so that he can't remember a lost love. We need to do something to tune Darcy's brain so that she has no memory of Tom or Jesse. This would be very helpful, I believe, for her effective life, for her relationships. Okay, and the other thing I don't like is every time you say Tom and Jesse, an angel loses its wings, because I think that every time you give them airtime, you give them clout, and we don't want that. We want them to go away. We want them to disappear. Poof, never to be seen or heard from again. Okay, Stacey and Florian's apartment was shut down due to coronavirus, so they moved into a hotel. And no sooner did they move into a hotel than Stacey found what a new video of Florian with the dark-haired girl with the giant fake lips. Bigger even than Stacey's lips. Those lips are huge. They might even be bigger than Stacey's. I think that this girl already had naturally full lips, and then she just went and got them You know, because they're huge. They're huge. Same with her boobs. Yeah, giant, giant. So yeah, all right. So Florian likes big boobs and big lips. Apparently it's very popular with Eastern European men and a lot of American men too, I guess. Okay, so at this point Stacey's pissed off and she says the classic 90-day franchise sentence, I'm done. I'm done. I always have to say it like Lisa, like baby girl Lisa. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Okay, all right, so the video is of Shanti, which is the name of big lips, big boob, dark-haired girl. She films him in bed and says, my sweet. And he says, what the F are you doing there? Because she has a camera. And he jumps out of the bed right away. But I do notice, did you notice, alert viewers, did you notice that when he's jumping out of the bed saying, what the F are you doing there? There's a little smile on his face. So what he's saying sounds like, how dare you film me? This is going to cause a lot of trouble. There's a little smile on his face. So this was planned. Okay, he doesn't want to talk about it. So they get into this big old fight. She's like, is there more? Is there more? She thought this was behind them. She leaves them behind at the hotel. She takes a drive. She goes to see Darcey and she shows Darcey the video. Shock. Horror. Darcey is disgusted. Of course she is. The girl posted it on Instagram. Classy. Florian says nothing happened. Boy, nothing happens a lot with you, Florian. And girls in bed. He's a cuddler. He's a snuggler. Florian is a snuggler. That's what I've learned from this show, basically. Okay. Yeah, Darcey says, you know, don't let the bitch get to you. We find out that Darcey has sort of always looked after Stacey, even though they were both kind of bullied in school. I guess you can't tell now. I guess she uses makeup, but Stacey has vitiligo. So she has patches of no pigmentation on her face. Is it her face and neck? I'm not sure, but you know, but vitiligo is something that's really, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it except either heavy makeup or just accept it and say, you know, this is me, this is who I am. Like there's a model that has vitiligo. She was on, way back in the day, she was on America's Next Top Model, and she was just like, no, I'm not covering it up. And she was the model with vitiligo, and she worked, you know. So there was a boy, I guess, who used to make fun of her, and apparently Darcey shut him down. I guess Darcey bullied him back and shut him down. So the boy came to apologize to Stacey because I guess Darcey scared him. She probably threatened to fall in love with him and cling to him and never leave him alone and obsess over him for the rest of her life. Okay, now Darcey calls Georgie and she asks him to come to Connecticut. Darcey is so panicked and desperate at first that she can't reach him because it takes several rings of his cell phone. And she's like crying already, as if he doesn't answer his phone, oh my God, it's over. You know, Darcey. Darcey says she needs to get quarantini weenie. Okay. All right. Unfortunately, a lot of people who want quarantini weenie instead end up with corona belly. So she invites him up to Connecticut again to rent a little place with her. Georgie says that he doesn't want to endanger them. He wants to stay home for a week or two. And then he says, oh, don't worry about it. You know, we're going to be quarantined for months and months. So, you know, I guess that means, so I'll come up and we'll have lots of time together during this quarantine. I'm not sure. She is, of course, worried that he's going to forget about her. If she's not in front of him at all times, look at me, love me. She's afraid he's going to forget her. Oh, Darcey, 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 that desperation in your voice on a list of any man's desired traits that they're looking for in a woman, desperation is not usually one of them. So, okay, Florian and Stacey have not spoken for a little while. Florian says that the effing girl is trying to ruin their relationship. That's why she put it on Instagram. And of course, you know, Stacey's like, why were you in her bed? A good question. Stacey asks if there's anything else she needs to know. Haven't we been through this before? Do you swear this is the last thing? This is the last thing? And then a few days later, do you swear though, Florian, do you swear this is the last thing? This is the last thing. And then if makes you think it's going to keep happening. Anyway, he says he never slept with Shanti, but he doesn't make eye contact with her, and he won't make eye contact with her when he's saying that. So liar, liar, pants on fire. He says, this girl is not my life, my angel. You are boo-boo. Okay. All right. He says he's no longer in communication with her. Stacey asks to check his phone. Stacey sees that Florian blocked Shanti on Instagram. He says he loves Stacey. She forgives him. They kiss and make up. This is going to happen again. As sure as I'm sitting here, this is going to happen again. Okay. Yeah, so I love you, my boo-boo, they say. I love you, my boo-boo. Okay, Stacey rationalizes that Shanti set him up and he didn't want to be there. Why was he in her room on her bed? I know he was wearing his street clothes, but anyway, okay, so Darcey decides that she's going to call the Albanian girl. She's going to call Shanti for Stacey, also for drama, also for TLC. So Darcey finds her number, sets up a call, or TLC finds her number and sets up a call because Shanti wants to clout. She wants to be on the show, and she gives them the number, I'm sure. Darcey asks Shanti to explain the video. And she said, well, Florian met me on Instagram and he pursued me. Florian met me on Instagram, he pursued me. She said that he was all the time complaining that he was like a dog on a leash with Stacey and he was over it. And she said, I am the victim here. Also, it's not my fault that Florian wants me. And Darcey says, did you have sex? This girl's acting like such a bitch. The pictures say it all. No? Yeah. Darcey actually thinks the photos are staged for this girl to get clout. And Shanti is just enjoying the hell out of this. She's just like, oh, she's really acting. She's really pulling it all out. Yeah, I can't help it if his sugar wants my honey or his honey wants my sugar, whichever. It's not really a very good analogy, is it? But, you know, I don't know. What maybe analogies are few and far between in Albania. I don't know. Anyway, so Darcey hangs up on her. I can stop the accent now. Darcey doesn't know if she will tell Stacey about the phone call with Shanti. Of course she will. We're a little thin on material right now. So yeah, she's going to have to tell her. And that's it. But I just, gosh darn it. Something makes me root for these twins. I know that there's a lot working against them in terms of finding healthy relationships. But kind of, I like Darcey's daughters. I love the dad, Mike. And I guess maybe we all have a friend. I know what it is. We all have the friend who chronically picks the worst guy. And we love her. And we tell her she's amazing. And we do everything we can. But she usually just goes from one jerk to the next. But it's maybe someone we've been friends with forever. Like they're sisters to us in a sense. So maybe that's why I have a soft spot for Darcey and Stacey. You know, I'm rooting for them. Yeah, I know they're on TV. They enjoy having the clout. They're going to, you know, probably promote their clothing line when all this is over. But I really feel like these two are not just here to be on TV. I really sincerely believe they desperately want to get married and fall in love in that order. It doesn't necessarily have to be. They don't necessarily have to have the guy that's, I feel like they want to wear the big dress. They want to get married. They want everyone in the world to know that they are desired, that someone wants them. And more than anyone else, they need to know, I am desired. Someone loves me. And someone's not going to leave me. Ding, ding, ding. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me for our blonde twins. And again, I would really appreciate it if you would like and comment. I love your comments. Can't say it enough. Also, please, you would do me a very great favor if you would like to push that little red button and subscribe, and go down the comments and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm a new subscriber, so that I can thank you personally and thank you on air. And also you can ring that little bell for notifications when I make new uploads. So I want you to be very, very careful. You know the drill, but be careful. Be good, but not too good. Gotta have a little bit of something in there, you know? But be careful and be good. Bye. Love you guys.